The Competition Commission has been asked to investigate the car insurance industry because of excessively high premiums. The Office of Fair Trading, which called in the regulators, says the sector is dysfunctional with high repair and replacement car costs. And that's our phone-in topic for the next hour. Liz Green is asking if you think car insurance is a rip-off.
At the heart of West Yorkshire.
Liz Green Live. The Big Question. BBC Radio Leeds.
All right, glad you're here. Thank you. We're going to get talking as usual over the next couple of hours. The world, the way we see it, right here in West Yorkshire. And you call, you text, you tweet and you email. We're going to talk about you and your car insurance next. If you feel that you've ever been ripped off, there will be some good stories as well, I hope. Tell them to me. We're also coming up after 2 o'clock, one-on-one this afternoon, a very moving story with a West Yorkshire lad, a former rugby league player. His name is Jimmy Gittings, and he was once told he'd never walk again after breaking his neck, but they were wrong. Don't miss that 2 till 3 this afternoon. The big question, though, first, do you feel ripped off by what you pay for your car insurance and the service you get when you need it? 0845 303 3333. Your stories, please, good and bad, over the next 55 minutes or so. In the news today, you just heard it, the Office of Fair Trading have referred the car insurance industry to the Competition Commission. They say it's dysfunctional. Concerns about price fixing, so you don't have any genuine choice, do you? And what you get for your money once you've paid up, you might need to claim. Good price, good service? Tell me your story. 0845 303 3333. Almost 12 minutes now past midday. I'm Liz Green. Glad you're here. Let's talk about you and your car insurance this hour. Finding the right price, the right rate, paying for it, whether you feel there's enough choice out there, and then what you get for it when you need to claim. Do you feel ripped off by the car insurance system? 0845 303 3333. Now, in the news today, the Office of Fair Trading has referred the private motor insurance market to the Competition Commission. They say that this whole industry is dysfunctional and needs further investigation, that it's not working well for you. Is it? 0845 303 3333. When you text 81333, put Leeds at the start of your message. Your story's over this hour. Several elements to this. Finding the right price, those comparison websites, whether you use a broker, do you think you get the best deal? Also, they're worried about what you're paying for when you need it, who's at fault, how that affects then the premium. If you're given a replacement vehicle, does that inflate the premium you're paying anyway? What do you do with the no claims? All of that, has it worked or not for you? Now, one West Yorkshire MP has been campaigning for some time for cheaper car insurance, and it's David Ward, who's the Liberal Democrat MP for Bradford East. And I'm glad you're here, David. You must be pleased this has been referred then.
Oh, I'm absolutely delighted, Liz. I did say that this would not be a short journey, but it was one that we desperately needed to get on. And this is just great news, really, because it's the OFT have carried out a provisional look at all of this earlier in the year, and they are not happy and have come out with a very, very clear view that the market, the private motor insurance market, is basically involved in a massive scam.
Wow. They've called it dysfunctional. And I'm asking if people have been ripped off today. Is this an unregulated industry, David?
It seems so, and it was just becoming more, you mean the perfect word, dysfunctional. It was acting against the interests of people and was out of control. We did a big survey, as you know, last year, which you were very heavily involved in and supported, I know. And the title of our report was "It Can't Go On Like This," and that was the message coming across. This thing is out of control and will just get worse and worse and worse. So it needed to be stopped, and I think there is some evidence that insurance premiums have been halted in terms of the spiral upwards, and indeed some are coming down, but there's a long way to go. Do you know, the figures are staggering, Liz.
Tell me some.
Well, the figures that they've come out with, the OFT have come out with, is that the high cost of repairs and of hire cars are pushing up premiums by £255 million every single year, and the cost of rectifying each accident could be somewhere in the region of £560 higher than it really should be.
So on average, we are paying over 500 quid more than we need to. Is that what you're telling me?
Absolutely, and it's the bits of the system. Again, you're right. It's the parts of the system. It's not one single part that you can point to. It's a number of combination of things, the referral fees, it's the hire cars, it's the claims management companies. They're all part of it, but it was part of a system that was feeding itself, that was getting worse and worse and worse. As more and more the costs went up, then the premiums went up. Because premiums went up, the costs went up, and so it went on.
Well, that's what they tell us. They've been telling us this for years. Because there are more claims, because you might get hit by an uninsured driver, because of the volume of traffic, the insurance companies having to pay out more, so that's why we're paying higher premiums.
Well, the number of accidents has actually gone down substantially, safer cars and all more awareness really, and more careful driving. So the number of accidents has gone down, but what has gone up are the number of personal injury claims and the value of those claims. And what this is saying really is that the at-fault drivers, and we all have been in that situation at some point in their life through whatever, and the at-fault drivers are really almost out of control. They have no control over the way that the repairs and the replacement vehicles and everything else associated with the claim. There's no control over that. Now, usually if something happens, you're responsible. You'd get 3 quotes. You'd be able to get what the best deal is and put it right. But in this situation, you lose control of, and it passes over to the not-at-fault insurer. And, of course, they don't really... And in this war, they don't really care too much because you're picking up the bill for it. So there will be exaggerated costs in terms of the car hire, charges in terms of the repairs. They don't really care because you're picking up the bill, and it cannot be allowed to go on. This is going to take 2 years, this investigation by the Competition Commission. Up to 2 years, yeah. So we're going to have to wait a while. What do you want at the end of it, David? Well, I don't think we'll wait 2 years because what the insurance industry now knows very, very well now, and it's not just me, of course, it's other MPs, it's the Transport Select Committee, which has looked at this in depth a couple of times, but what they know is the game is up. The spiral, I keep referring to as an ever-increasing spiral of increasing premiums. The spiral needs to start working in the opposite direction now. And I think the message is getting through. You're not getting away with this. We must see an end to this, and you've got to sort it out. Final comments just come in from Paul in Leeds. He's texted through 81333 with Leeds at the start. He says this: he finds his insurance okay. He would like to pay less. He says maybe if we crack down on false claims, maybe that would help. He says I haven't had to claim, so he says I can't say as if I feel ripped off. That crackdown on false claims would help, wouldn't it, David? Well, it is. I mean, it is happening in that the government, paid for by the insurance industry, set up a new fraud unit at the beginning of this year, and this is really to look at organised crime because this is such a racket. Yeah. The organised crime, criminals are being involved in this, but it is also the culture behind this, and I've said it before, you go to the pub, you have an accident, somebody says to you, have you claimed? You said, well, there's nothing wrong with it. They said, are you sure you haven't got a pain in your neck? Try it on. It's always worth it, and you'll make a couple of £1,000. Let's hope it ends. Well done, David. Then, progress today. Good to talk to you. Thanks very much, Liz. David Ward, Liberal Democrat MP for Bradford East.